Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Phrasal Verb Victory. Let's jump in. Today, I'll be covering a very common verb used in phrasal verbs, bring. Our first phrasal verb today is bring up, then bring in, then bring out. After that, bring about, and finally, bring on. Up first, we have probably the most common phrasal verb with bring up. Bring up means to mention a topic that you want to talk about or something that needs to be talked about. For example, you have many headaches. You should bring that up with your doctor. This sentence means you should talk about that to your doctor. Or here's another example. Is it okay to bring up salary in a job interview? In other words, is it all right to talk about it or to ask about it? Up next, bring in. Bring in has a few meanings, but the meaning I want to talk about today is to earn money. For example, did you know that Taylor Swift's Eras tour brought in over $2 billion? Another example, sales of the new iPhone are expected to bring in huge profits. Moving on to bring out. The meaning of bring out that I'll talk about today is to cause something or someone to appear in a certain way or someone to behave in a certain way. For example, I really love that color on you. It really brings out your eyes. Now, in this sentence, it really brings out your eyes means the color makes your eyes look very nice. We don't only use this with appearance. This could also be used with flavors. For example, in cooking, the lemon really brings out the flavor of the fish. Okay, this means that the lemon makes the fish taste better. And as I mentioned in the definition, bring out can also be used to talk about people's behavior. For example, my dad really loves my mom. She brings out the best in him. Now, in this sentence, bring out the best in him means that my mom causes my dad to behave in the best way that he can. Next, bring about. Bring about simply means to cause something to happen. For example, our new prime minister has brought about many changes. And here's an example of something a prime minister might say. We hope to bring about many improvements to our aging infrastructure. Now, in this sentence, the prime minister is saying that he hopes that he can cause these improvements to happen. And our last phrasal verb today, bring on. Bring on also means to cause something to happen, or it can also mean to cause something to appear. Now, this one is usually used for negative situations, however. For example, hay fever can bring on coughing, itchy eyes, and even headaches. Okay, these are all negative things. And here's another example of a negative situation. The flood was brought on by a dam break upriver. In other words, the cause of the flood was a break in the dam. Well, that brings us to the close of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it very useful. If you did, give it a like, and if you found this content useful, please subscribe. If you know somebody else who would find this content useful, please share the video. All right, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.